The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. Take two, I guess. Hopefully we got these technical difficulties changed, fixed, and you guys are no longer hearing a skip.
We're good.
Hopefully everybody give everybody a few minutes to get back in and everything. So anyway, you're Pedro, Britt, everybody's good so far?
Yeah,
sounds good on YouTube.
All right.
Okay.
All
right.
We were talking about Braille. And my question was too, though. I'm more sensitive with my left hand. Plus, you know what's another thing I do? I don't read it like going left. Like I tilt the book a little. I tilt the paper. I have to read it like not my finger being horizontal, almost vertical. If y'all understand what I'm kind of saying.
Well, I mean, I do, Pedro, because again, I had that same issue. I couldn't read with my right index. I couldn't read with any of the fingers on my right hand, but I was able to work it out on my left index. But I literally had to, rather than if you got the book laid out right in front of course, your finger's supposed to be vertical, right? But I literally had to take and turn the books to where my finger's still vertical, but now I'm feeling it with just that little pad right there between, the tip of your finger and your fingernail. That's the only piece of my finger I could read it with,
Wow.
So I had to read that way, But okay. Once I broke my wrist, I lost that because it messed with the nerves in my fingers when I broke my wrist.
Yeah, for me, it's just I'm more sensitive with my left arm. I could feel with my right arm, but I feel I could feel more because I'm barely starting, so I'm trying to. I get confused sometimes of the position of the dots.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, right quick, if anybody's listening in already, please let us know if we're coming through clearly.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. Oh, that's right. George got it in his ear, so he's good.
I hear two voices in my head, so.
Well, is it getting in the way of the other 10 that you hear all the time?
I'll say normally it's 3, so today we're good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Braille, again, I agree with what Brittany's saying. Tools are tools, man. The more tools you got in your toolbox, the better off you are. And bottom line, again, as we always say at Blind United, whatever works best for you. I can't do Braille anymore, so I'm forced to deal with the technology side of it, right? Brittany, she's fluent in Braille, so, there might be certain things she wants to do in Braille, and it makes sense. It's just another tool that she has. I've been out and about with her, like she was saying yesterday, when we're doing Union Station or whatever, we're, at conventions or different hotels for whatever reason, she's able to read that stuff on the wall, and okay, no, we got a little ways to go, whatever, But
well, Miss Britt, is there that might sound naive, but is there a how can I say it, mathematic, like a math format, or is it like number one?
There's a
algebra?
Braille Nimith code for algebra. Like there's a whole Braille code for like the subscripts and the superscripts and like the all the different mathematical signs. I'm like totally drawing a blank, but there's a whole
a whole other language.
There's a whole other
language.
system.
Oh,
for
really?
that. Like how when you have to take geometry in high school and you have like the sine and the cosine and all that. Like there's Braille symbols for all that.
Oh, and see that's so. For example, let's say like uh 2 to the 6th power times 12 divided by 5.
There's code for
Yeah,
that.
you could write that out in Braille. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, that's pretty neat. I didn't
So
know
let
that.
me ask you this, Brett. Is there another code for writing like sheet music?
Yeah, there's Braille
Yeah,
music. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know Braille music because I'm not a musician, but
Wow.
yeah, there is Braille music.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
And I believe when you're older or you're getting into Braille and you learn how to write and see how the words and letters are visually, it's a little more harder to learn another reading because you try to visualize and stuff. For me, I'd be like, oh man, I gotta learn this whole other new reading method, you know?
So
Right, right.
when you say that, Pedro, so this is
Ooh.
like a
George, George,
letterhead.
George, George, back
Back up
off your
from the
mic a
mic.
little.
Oh,
You're
oh,
clipping.
sorry.
Lower the gain a little if you want.
Looked like
Oh,
you
it's like
sounded like
it's
you were kissing your mic or
no.
something.
I turned off that power. I'm sorry, man. I turned it on by mistake. It was loud. Sorry about that. I pushed the wrong button. So let's say like a format letter, right? Let's say welcome or dear ma'am, sir, column. It was a paragraph, and then you had a date to the right of the paragraph. In Braille, does it like literally look like that, or is it separate? Like for example, does everything come in its own line, or can it be like two
Yeah,
different like?
no, okay. Yeah, George, like for instance, all the Braille transcribers that I've talked to, they've all told me that it has to look like the print document as much as possible.
Okay,
So for instance, if there's like a letter and it says like dear Mr. Zavala, and then it has like the indentation, you did not pay your whatever bill, blah blah blah, like whatever it looks
wow, just
like
because
in
I'm
print.
Mexican?
Yes, it's exactly that's exactly why.
So for underlining, okay, for underlining, there's a symbol for that, and it's
Yeah, there's a
before
symbol
the
for that.
word.
Yeah, there's a like for
Okay.
italics or underline
How
or
about
or
Excel?
Okay.
bold. Yeah,
That's
there's symbols for that. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
oh,
I know
okay.
that.
That's the whole purpose of Braille. Like, I mean, I get that JAWS can tell you all that stuff too in technology, but you get so much more information. For me, you get so much more information reading something in Braille than you do, let's just say, reading, a document using JAWS or
Mm.
That makes
whatever.
sense. That makes sense. Like letter
Plus,
per letter,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Jaws is barely implementing a formula for mathematics in Jaws. It's
Oh,
been a
really? Okay.
year, I think. So
Yeah, it
it's
has
like,
not been that long.
yeah. So in math, I believe people will gravitate more towards Braille because writing math out in a screen reader is daunting and confusing sometimes. You know, when you're trying to make it
Yeah.
look cool and make it look legible for the teacher that's gonna go in and do all and grade your
Yeah,
however it goes.
Pedro. And then black for those who
Mm,
are your young people that use JAWS, folks, listen to what Pedro just said. Because when I lost my vision and I started using JAWS and I went back to school, I had to take a reassessment test, right, to get back into school. And it was weird, right? Because I went from visual to non-visual, and I could see like the algebra, right, the expressions. But I sat there and tried to take the test, dude, I got lost. Like second power, because I'm like, what? Parentheses and all. I'm like, what the heck? It's weird. It is weird
Right.
when you hear
Right.
it.
Well, I mean, again, I, like I said yesterday when we were talking about it, I can see, both sides of it. I mean, but you may have a job where you don't need to use Braille. Maybe your technology is good enough, and I ain't mad at it. But for somebody to say, well, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, and all this other kind of stuff, I would never say that, because again, it just depends on what you're doing.
True.
You know,
Mhm.
if you may be on a job where you need to do Braille, and if you
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
very
it,
true. I have a question for George and Pedro and Ed. Like, what's the happy medium? I mean, George is somebody who lost their sight, who's been visually impaired their whole lives. Like, I used Braille my whole life, and for me, going to college was really difficult because it was like, okay, you're not going to get everything in Braille anymore. And it was just like, what do you mean?
Well,
You
I guess
know?
for me, Mr. I'm kind of different from Pedro and Mr. Davis because I transitioned. Now, well, let me say this. I could have learned Braille when I was younger, right? And they told me, learn Braille because you might need it when you're older. I'm like, not me. So I transitioned to blindness where I'm at now without learning Braille. And I wish I would have learned it because I see the benefits. And granted, it's not widely used in the realm of technology, right? But what I mean by that, like for example, the workforce or stuff like that. But I see the benefits. I wish I would have learned, but I just don't have the patience now to learn. I'm not gonna lie
Hmm.
to you. Just sit there and learn little buttons, and so I wish I would have learned. I'm not gonna lie from my perspective, but I do see, like Mr. Davis says, you know, if I have a customer that they lean on Braille a lot, I'm gonna see how I can work around that. I don't know how, but that's their preference. Hey, whatever how you say, Mr. Davis, it works for you. Go for it.
Go
You know,
for it. You
knock
know.
yourself out.
Yeah. For
Yeah, but what
myself,
is the happy medium? Because like you said, like, let's just say you get a job somewhere and they're like, okay, pay for you to get jobs, but we're not paying for you to get a Braille display. Like, okay, well, where's the happy medium? Where do you say,
I,
okay, cool, you got to learn Braille, but you also got to learn how to do things audibly.
yes, yes,
Well,
and I think
go ahead.
there is some medium there because I know I dabble in technology a lot, but even though I'm in technology, I see the place for Braille. That's why I am trying to learn it because in the space that I'm in and the multiple different things I do and creating content and doing podcasting, I need Braille around. I can sometimes have two voices while I'm trying to hear you guys and things like that
I do all the
in the
time.
same time. Yeah, but and then
No, I hear you. I hear you.
I'm splitting
You
my
know what,
my
Pedro? Can I interrupt you?
multitasking.
You're right because you're so right because I've seen it many times. Like like myself, right? I have to remember everything because the notes and I think like what you just said in the podcasting,
Hmm.
realm, using notes, Braille notes have been. I'll tell you what, that have been a lifesaver for many a times.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
again, let me ask you this, Pedro. Is there soft? I mean, how can I say this? Is there software that could teach me from basic? I mean, software like, or do I have to physically touch it?
You will have to physically touch it. I heard of people learning by them telling them the number, the letters, and telling them the cells. But you have to know one, two, three, and then four, five, six. You need to know the
Okay,
cells.
where they're
Yeah,
placed.
but
But
I
you can
believe I
also
tried that, and it's harder. It's better to
Okay,
feel it.
get, what is it, that e-reader that they put out now. You can get it through the what is it, the where all the books, the Library of Congress.
oh,
You
barbs,
The
barbs.
LNS.
Service they're giving those out.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
get, and then you can download the Braille learning books, and
My
put
only
it
okay,
on your
my only
display.
issue My only issue with that Braille display, okay, I love that Braille display. I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I think it's a great option. And like it's whatever, right? But you only get, what is it, like 14, 18 cells, so you're constantly having to pan. And then when you're learning, I can see a person having to, okay, A B C pan, D E F pan, and then you're just getting frustrated, and then you have to have a certain knowledge of how
Well,
Braille
Miss Britt,
displays work, how technology works, to get
can,
something
can
like
you
that.
describe? Can you describe the display? Because
correct.
I've heard it many times. But what does that really mean? A display? When you say that, is it like a
Okay,
laptop?
so
I mean, or is it a?
no, okay, so like a Braille display. Have you ever seen like a Braille note, George?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so like the bottom part of it has like a refreshable Braille display, so it has little pins that go up and down, and they make whatever is on the screen, whatever is being displayed. So like if you have a Braille display hooked up to your computer, whatever JAWS is saying, that's what is being displayed in Braille. And so the pins will go up and down and refresh to mimic what is on the screen, if that makes any sense.
So okay, now I'm confused. So you had JAWS and the display?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, you
George.
have JAWS
Okay.
and the display.
So you could work together, right? So let's say I'm right here, right? I could have loaded up my notes already in my Braille display, and I could scroll through my notes when I'm talking to you while reading, reading the Braille display. And the Braille display is what is it, 18 or 20 cell again, Brett?
Some of them are 14, some of them are 18, some of them are 20, some of them are 40.
I have the basic one. What's it called? The one that the LNS was giving out by
I think that one is what, like 18 or
That's the
20
14
cell.
e-reader.
cells.
Yeah, that's the e-reader you're talking about. Didn't you just say that was like 14 cells, Brett?
No,
Yeah, it's
no,
like,
no. Not the e-reader. The Braille display they were giving out. They were giving a 20 cell Braille display. The e-reader is the recorder, right?
No,
Or my
no. E-reader is a Braille display.
okay. Something
yeah,
new.
but I mean, the basic one, it's a good display. Honestly, I'm not shitting on it at all. It's a great display. It just sucks because you constantly
Yes.
have to pan, you know.
Okay,
Yes,
I've
Well,
heard
and
that.
then
What does that
also
mean?
also
well,
the
and
feel of the material, guys. The feel of the material when you pick it up, you could tell that for the price, if it's going for like $2,000-3,000, like the basic one. I don't think they even sell it now. That's why they were giving it away, because they have a newer one now. But you could feel it like from different ones, because I had different ones in my hand. I felt a $10,000 one. I felt a $15,000 one, and it felt really nice in your hand. Really
How long do they
nice.
well,
last, Pedro? How long could those displays last? I mean, is there like a life?
that part right there.
That is the problem right there.
Oh,
A
really?
lot of technology
The
within the blind
mechanics of it.
community.
Yeah.
Well, not just that. I see like different like glasses and even Braille displays and other things built on certain old technologies that is already legacy technology. And some of
These
these,
last forever. It's the
they could
it's the
last forever.
software.
Yeah.
No,
It's the
because like I have
software.
a Braille Note
Yeah.
Apex and it still works, but it's working Windows. It's using Windows CE. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? At this point, it's a $5,000 paperweight.
Really?
Yes,
You
exactly.
can't
That's
update
the
it?
problem.
Well, and also I've also heard
You
that
need developers for that.
I have also heard that a lot of people the actual pins inside, they start messing up to where they don't always come up and down like they're supposed to. So it causes a
And
lot of
that's people that
misreading.
press really hard on their displays. And then a lot of people, like, okay, if you purchased your Braille Note or Braille display on your own, right, you're gonna baby that thing. I've heard of some blind people putting theirs
Hmm.
in a Ziploc bag. Like, let's say you're using your Braille display to read recipes in the kitchen, so you put it in a Ziploc bag, and then you can still feel through the
Oh, I see
display
what you're
so that you're
saying.
not getting it messed up. Or some people wrap theirs in saran wrap, because a lot of times, like, let's say you're putting it in your bag, you're out at the park or whatever reading Braille, you get dust and stuff in your display just like you would
Your phone.
a laptop or whatever.
Can you use baby oil for that?
No, no, no baby oil.
Baby
Because
oil
it
is
costs,
not the
I mean,
answer to everything, George.
Okay, sorry.
Pedro, do you know, I know that to get your Braille display cleaned is isn't it like 1,000 or a couple hundred? It's not cheap to get those cleaned.
Really?
It's not cheap. It's not cheap, and
Mm-mm.
they do come with cases, and that's the up price for someone that's sighted is listening. That's the up price that we pay just to be included in the sighted world, to be
Well, isn't
fast.
that ironic?
Look at our
Isn't that ironic, guys? Isn't that ironic that like, okay, yeah, here, Pedro, you want to go work? Let's just say there's no agency that pay for it, right? You want to go work, Pedro, go for it, but you have to have JAWS or Braille display at your cost. Oh, by the way, it's 2,000 or 3,000, right? You're like, what? It's just
yeah.
ridiculous the amount of
Right,
the
Yeah,
price.
right.
and we have a portion of our community that gets left out because the state, the way they're approaching it is, we want to get you to work. Otherwise, you don't need no technology. You could be out and be completely blind with none of these tech. They act like we don't have an everyday life that we have to deal with, a new type of sensory that we have to use, our listening. But if we had these tools and you will provide these tools without just being required to go back to work or go to school, you might be 65 and you just went completely blind. And now
True.
they're going to deny you because you're not going back to work or school. And I don't
And by
think
the way, guys,
that's even right.
and that's a lot of times what I see, Pedro. People either have a stroke for my customers, or their diabetes got really bad, and that's when they transition to blindness, and now they can't use Braille, right? Even if they want to try it. Oh, before I forget, we can't talk about broccoli, guys, because we have an actual police officer watching, my cousin Omar. So we gotta behave, guys.
Oh, okay.
This is not his
But
jurisdiction, George.
Well, yeah, we're out of his jurisdiction,
there you go.
and it's legal in California.
Oh,
So
that's right. But yeah, which is true, Pedro, because I see
Hmm.
that they wanted to learn Braille because they'll ask me, "Is there a way I can learn Braille?" But my fingers really don't feel. I can't. I go, no, not really. That's why I was asking about the auditory lessons. But it's not really going to work because it doesn't. It defeats the
again, you
purpose.
Yeah.
got to right because you got to be able to feel the placements of the dots in order to know what
Hmm.
you're reading. If you
Exactly.
don't know
Of, of course.
so it's a
Now, one more question before, and I promise. Stupid question. Is there a difference? And I've heard this question. I've had this question to me. That's why I'm asking, especially me here by El Paso. Is there a difference between a Juarez or Mexican, or is there universal Braille, or is it different from different culture? I mean, country
No,
to
it's
country.
different. Remember, I was saying that I had a friend who was Korean and he reads with his left hand, and Spanish Braille is all grade 1, so it's not contracted. It's A, B, C, D, and then like
Well, it needs to be like that. I could explain
yeah,
that after.
because
Go
like
ahead.
the enye, like
Yeah,
the N with like the
exactly.
line on it, that's the
Damn.
symbol. And then like
Brittany
the
knows.
accented I, and then like the question mark, like the question mark that's at the beginning of a sentence, like the question mark that's like upside down, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
that's a
That's like
different symbol. So
hmm.
yeah.
When I say contracted, that just means that the cells, in other words. So what does that
No,
mean? I've heard
no.
that too.
That means like the SH, the CH, the ES.
Oh,
Those
okay,
are one
okay,
symbol together.
okay.
Yeah, but yeah,
so a
Like a
couple letters will make up a whole word, George.
it's like a unisex kind of code.
No, it's
uh,
just contracted. Basically, they'll use. Let's just say an 8-letter word.
Okay.
It'll be contracted to where 3 letters. You'll know when you see those 3 letters that it means that word.
Oh, like eight, AEIGHC. So GH could be together, like a contracted.
yeah,
Yes,
like
sir. Yes, sir.
CH, ING, CH,
Oh,
SH,
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
it's
EI,
it's a lot. It's really a
yeah,
lot. So,
No wonder
but
people read
yeah.
fast in Braille. Now I get it.
but again, there's also an art to it, and I'm gonna be honest. Brittany's one of the best that I've heard. A lot of people will do their speeches. They'll have it on a braille note,
Yes.
and they're sitting there reading it. But you can tell that they're reading line by line, and then they'll say the line. Then they'll read a new line. Then they'll say that line.
Okay.
Brittany's actually really good. With Brittany can flow right along with what she's reading.
Oh, so it's continuous, not like
Right,
stop and go. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's more natural sounding.
It's like
Yeah.
how we're talking about to Mr. Davis, and I think about you, anyways, having jaws like in the call center, having jaws in your ear. You're talking to the customer. I can't do that. That's too difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, no, I can't do it either. So,
mm,
but for those that can, man, big ups to y'all
yep,
because
yep,
there's a
yep.
lot of people
Well,
do it. A lot of people do it.
it's hard to do it, but I noticed this new feature that they put in JAWS where you could balance out the audios. The screen reader audio, you could put it to your left or right. And I
Yes.
noticed if I put it to the left and then I put the audio to whatever I'm doing on the right, like for example, you guys, I could concentrate with my right ear, and then when I need to zoom into my left ear, I just listen to my left ear. But
It
it
cuts.
coming together as a
Yeah.
stereo all together, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
be like,
harder. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So, all right.
Heard
Well,
that people in call centers, they say that like, okay, one ear is the customer and then the other ear is Jaws or whatever, and I think
Hmm.
that that's what the new features of Jaws is doing. So you have one thing in one ear and another thing in the
Like
other
Zoom,
ear.
huh? I think that would be good in Zoom. You have
Yeah,
the
Zoom
jaws
does
in one ear, and
Teams.
Yeah, you could do it in Zoom. Yeah.
I mean, you can separate them in Zoom. You just got to do that sound card thing before you open Zoom. But I mean, there's workarounds to about a lot of this stuff. So, Anyway, y'all done with Braille? We can move on, or y'all want to talk about Braille some more?
I want to talk about Louis Braille. You know that man? No, we're good.
Yeah. I gotta play a quick commercial break, guys, and we'll be back with more conversation.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Join Blind United for a night of fun, food, and festivities at our Ugly Sweater and Sneaker Party. Celebrate the season with us while making connections and supporting a great cause. When Saturday, December 28th, 2024. Time, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Where? VFW Post 2070, Monrovia, California. Cost, $35 per person in advance. Payment deadline, December 18th, 2024. How to reserve your spot. Zelle your payment to Blind United Inc. and use the email blindunited2022@gmail.com. Memo. Include sneaker party and your phone number or email. What's in store? Attire. Bring your holiday spirit. Wear your ugly holiday sweater and your best sneakers. Menu. Enjoy a Mexican fiesta featuring nachos as appetizers, chicken, beef, or pork plates with rice, beans, tortillas, salsa, cheesecake, sodas, and water. Let us know of any dietary restrictions. There is a cash bar, drinks available for purchase. Raffles and contests. Raffle prizes. A 65-inch TV, shipped directly to the winner. An anyday cookware set and a Ring doorbell must be taken home by the winner that night. Raffle tickets, $5 each or 5 for $20. 50-50 drawing, $1 per ticket or 6 tickets for $5. Contests, show off your creativity and win a $25 gift card for Best Ugly Holiday Sweater, Best Sneakers. Don't miss out. Reserve your spot today for an unforgettable evening of food, fun, and fantastic prizes while supporting Blind United and its mission to empower individuals with disabilities. For more information, contact Ed Davis, CEO of Blind United. Phone 909-532-9513. Email info@blindunited.org. Celebrate, connect, and give back in style.
All right. Well,
Can I wear
knows.
the ugly sweater that I wore last year? I'm not trying to buy another one.
Yeah.
I'm going for that cookware.
But you know what?
Okay.
What we should do, Mr. Davis, and everyone, just for those who are brand new, like Omar, just kind of give a little context to what we do here at Blind United with the interest group, because people don't know that, the concept that's done through Zoom is very, very unique, where there's different groups like for technology, sewing, movies, cooking. I think there's 2 of them for cooking, isn't there? Makeup, support, and it's all free. Everything's free. All the
AI.
volunteers are visually impaired or blind. There's AI with you, Pedro, and you, Miss Britt.
Yeah,
I mean,
Traveling
we have
culture, all of that. I
we
mean,
got DOR, a person that comes in and talks about DOR and the ways you can approach them and maybe get your case moved along, or if you have questions of maybe opening a case. We have support groups for people that want to come in, and those are for private. You know what I mean? No, don't get recorded or anything like that. You could come in and talk about different topics that are that host Dominic puts out. He even puts out resources after his uh his Zoom class, and man, those resources, man, he gives you YouTube
I
videos,
heard they're good,
everything
huh?
that he,
Yeah.
yeah, everything he draws from, all the things he talks about, and he's in that field, so that's one of the good classes we have. We have another one with George Zavala, tips and tricks for jaws. Well, no, it's what is it? George,
I
Well, he
don't even
does a
know.
couple. He did
The
George.
art
Does
of pole
George?
dancing with George Savala.
Hey, no, correction. I need to correct this on there. It's not George says Sparkles for that class.
Okay. So
but
anyway,
we
George has 3 groups, just to be clear. George has tips and tricks with Jaws. Then he also has his advocacy group, and then he does the art of podcasting.
But
yes,
really, guys, to be honest with you, when I first heard this concept, right, what 3 years ago? No, going on 3.5 years. I'm
Yeah,
like, that's so stupid. But once you get into it, guys, it's so cool. You get to meet other people. Like I've met Mr. Wells from Florida, Louise from Indiana.
yeah,
Um, I mean, just a whole
from all
bunch of
over the
people.
place.
all over the
Colorado,
country.
Michigan. I met so just if you want more information, just email Ed at info@blindunited.org, and he'll put you on that list. It's gonna start up in January, but it's really cool, guys. It's mostly in the evening. There's some in the daytime, but it's for those who are working. But if you know someone, this is on the serious tip. If you know someone that's just transitioned to blindness, or maybe doesn't want to go out because they're blind, or whatever, just tell me, you know what? Hey, I'll hook you up with this Blind United interest groups, and so maybe they'll open up, right? Especially those support groups.
Right. And then also, people that are maybe slightly technically challenged or whatever, and they need to get it a little slower, we try to slow things down
Why are you
to
talking
where,
about me like that? Why you say I'm slower or what? That's messed up.
no,
On air too, man. Not really. Yeah.
but we try to, break it down to where people can, get it, grasp it, and comprehend what it is we're trying to do in a slower pace rather than, in a classroom kind of setting where, oh, well, you have to refer back to your notes or whatever. No, we try to break it down and help you out, stuff like that. And
Yes,
something that did nobody else mention. I'm sorry, Pedro. Something else
go ahead.
nobody mentioned yet. We got entertainment too. Every Friday night we show descriptive movies,
True.
and then a few Saturdays a week we do RS games. It's, for those who may not know what that is, it's a game platform where we go on there as a group and we go in and we play Monopoly, Uno, Yahtzee, you name it. There's a bunch of games in there. So we do that together as a group. You know what I'm saying? So
Can I say something about that, Mr. D, real quick? So me, Big Dog, I thought like, I'm gonna play Mr. Davis Monopoly. Shoot, I'm gonna trade. Man, I'm gonna show him. I walked away like the man. He kicked my butt, but he made it nice. He was like, you know what, guy, I'm the big dog. So, but no, that and the cool thing about that, guys, the games are all accessible.
all accessible.
All accessible.
And they do have a platform. They do also have another link there to where you can play with your sighted family members. So they got 2 platforms where you can come on there together. And then whether you're sighted or not, you can play with, sighted people or blind people. Either way, it's cool.
And it's free. And it's free.
And it's free. And it's free. So, but anyway, let's get into these articles and see if we can get through them today. And I forget which one I had first. I think it's the one George put up about the new scam. The
Amazon.
Yeah, the Amazon scam.
Join
My bad.
next up on Coffee Time, the Amazon QR scam and how to protect yourself. Today, we're shedding light on a growing e-commerce scam that's targeting unsuspecting consumers, the Amazon QR scam. This deceptive practice combines unsolicited packages with misleading QR codes, posing significant risks to your personal information and device security. What is the Amazon QR scam? The Amazon QR scam is a variation of the well-known brushing scam, where individuals receive packages they never ordered. Here's how it works. Unsolicited deliveries. Scammers send low-value items, often including a QR code claiming to provide rewards or additional information. QR code trickery. Scanning the code directs recipients to fraudulent websites designed to collect sensitive personal information or install malware on devices. Data exploitation. The information gathered can be used for identity theft, unauthorized financial activities, or posting fake reviews under the recipient's name to boost the sender's product ratings. Why is this scam dangerous? Identity theft. Fraudulent websites linked to QR codes can harvest personal information like addresses, bank details, or identification numbers. Device vulnerability. Scanning malicious QR codes can compromise your smartphone or computer, installing malware that provides scammers access to sensitive data. How to protect yourself. Follow these simple yet crucial steps to stay safe. Avoid scanning unknown QR codes. Never scan QR codes from unsolicited packages or sources you do not trust. Verify package origins. If you receive a package you didn't order, confirm with family or friends to ensure it isn't a gift. If it's unaccounted for, report it to the retailer. Monitor financial activity. Regularly check your financial accounts for unauthorized transactions or activities. Report suspicious activity. Inform the retailer, such as Amazon, about any unsolicited packages. Most platforms have resources to assist with such issues. Conclusion. The Amazon QR scam highlights the importance of staying cautious when dealing with unexpected deliveries or QR codes. Scammers are becoming increasingly sophisticated, but with vigilance and the right preventive measures, you can protect your personal information and devices from harm. What are your thoughts on the rising prevalence of e-commerce scams? Have you or someone you know been affected? Let's discuss strategies for staying safe in the comments. Now, back to the coffee time crew for their thoughts.
All right. Well, ain't nobody sent nothing extra to my house.
But you know what? But I was watching this on YouTube, Mr. Davis, and it's sad because that the elderly. There had this one. It was the police cam, and it had gone to an elderly gentleman in L.A. in L.A. And he had given what he thought was an FBI agent. Now get this, it doesn't make sense. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Gave him gold bars, which he has liquidated his assets or his CDs and whatnot up to $400,000. Thankfully, they caught the perpetrator, right? And they caught him. But the thing is but when they're talking to the elderly man, he actually got mad at the police officer because the police officer, sir, you don't have warrants. Well, the guy from the FBI said, sir, you do not have warrants. And the old man said, no, I do. And we have to understand, folks, that, the strategies, if you have an elderly family member, keep an eye on them. If you go to their house and you see an Amazon box, ask them, hey, Wilita, did you get something from Amazon? No, but they gave me whoa. So always be vigilant with your elderly family members too about that,
Right.
I noticed I was reading a study, and they were talking about how elderly fall for certain scams, and the young, now the like Generation Z and stuff are falling for online scams, but in a different type of way. I know you get scams like text message. You got a UPS package that didn't go through customs or whatever it may be.
Got one of them this morning.
Did you?
Yep.
Yeah. And some people fall victim to those. You know what I mean? The younger Generation Z is falling for scams within websites and like contests and stuff like that.
And the thing about that picture, you would think, right, while you're saying that, they're young, they should know technology, they should be, but you know what? Sometimes these are sophisticated. How do you say that, Mr. Davis? I have to go to my white man to say it right. How do you say it? Sophisticated. There you go, that word. And because now is remember that one time we were talking about even with websites. If you happen to go to the wrong website and it says, "Oh, your card's declined," update. Oh, okay, but it's the wrong website, right? But just keep vigilant, folks, especially now in Christmas. People if you get a gift from Amazon and you never ordered nothing, don't say, "Oh, I got it for free one," and just scan that QR code and you're out of luck.
Well, I say if you get a gift from anybody you didn't order, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's, again, right now, what's in the news is Amazon, but who knows? It could just be a FedEx package. You're not really sure where it came from, whatever. But just do your due diligence. Make sure before you do any of that, you verify who sent this to you,
And if you check your credit card statements, and that's the last time, and it kind of helped me because last week their credit card came on our what do you call it, charge. I tell my wife it was a scam. It was Girls Gone Wild. I go, no, that's a scam. I didn't order that.
Yeah,
Anyways.
right.
No, but
Blame it on the rain, George.
yeah, it comes in all different scams, and that's what we're trying to raise the awareness and put a spotlight on it. I know we always hear people online or the news, be careful online, be careful, but they don't, sometimes they don't give you certain tips. And what we're saying, just be vigilant. Don't just, oh, they're sending me something free. Let me enter my car information for shipping. You know,
Let
don't
me
be
ask you
too
this, guys.
gullible.
Can I ask you this?
Mm.
Keep it 100. Had anyone tried to scam you? And I'm saying this for a reason, because we're visually impaired or blind.
I don't know that they even know that. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, I got one of those text messages this morning about my packages being held up at US UPS or whatever. But bottom line, I know I ain't ordered nothing, so I just what do you say? Report and delete.
Well, the reason
Well,
I said because
well, I
when I was
noticed.
go
Uh
ahead,
huh.
go ahead, Pedro.
Well, I noticed when I get certain emails and certain things, they're counting on you to be all visual, right? But since our screen reader reads the name of photos and images within emails and stuff like that, I noticed that sometimes the name of the photos don't match the email, and they talk about like a different type of subject. The image might be correct, the image that's what it's showing, but the name, since my screen reader reads it, it sometimes reads something else, and I'm like, hold up, like this doesn't make sense. It's talking about this, but this
Right,
is the name, and sometimes I think they're gagging on you to be visual and just take a glance. Oh, look at that shiny thing and click the button. You know?
right,
Mm-hmm.
right. Well,
Always check the email address.
how about this one where you get the email and you open it up? I mean, it says it's got an attachment on, then you open up the email. There's no text there. So now they want you to go in and open up that attachment. Well, 9 times out of 10, that attachment is holding malware.
Oh, wait a minute. How about the one from we're talking about, Mr. Davis? The Apple update your Apple or keep your Apple ID or whatever.
Oh,
Have you
your
gotten that
Apple
email
ID has been
Yeah,
revoked.
or
yeah,
something like that?
we talked about that a week or so ago. A lot of people been getting that email.
Okay,
You
Yeah,
that's
know,
there's two. There's two. It's your Apple ID is about to be revoked due to activity. Um,
then
upgrade
the
your
iCloud one.
storage. Yeah, upgrade your storage because your storage is running low. But why would Apple email you when Apple pops up on your settings and says, "Look, your storage is full. Your iCloud storage is full."
hmm
Think about that one. Why would
You
they
know what,
send you an email?
Pedro? I'm glad you said that because yesterday, no, what was it? Sunday, and we're talking about that, right? The email. So my wife goes, "Babe, I got a notification about my storage is I need to move it to 2.99, no $2.99." I'm like, whoa, where'd you get that from? She was on my phone. I thought she meant email, right? I go, no, babe. If it's an email, don't click. She goes, no. It's like what you said, Pedro. It popped up on my screen, like from Apple. So I went in, turned on VoiceOver. Sure enough, it was a pop up from the iCloud from actual Apple, not an email. Okay,
Yes,
but
yes.
there's a difference, like you said, Pedro.
Yeah, there is a difference because it's your onboard device warning you, and it's not a message really coming from an email or a message coming from Apple. It's the iCloud servers that are all encrypted with your data. So the on device is doing it. It's not really coming from outside. We have
Right,
to
it's not a
remember that when it
scam. It's a
yeah.
legit prompt.
Exactly. There
Yeah,
you go.
it's
The
a
prompt.
legit prompt.
Prompt. That's a
Yeah.
good word to say.
Yeah. And that's what Apple prides itself. So Apple prides itself on privacy and onboard device decision making, meaning on board, even with their AI stuff, they try to do mostly everything on board, the Siri suggestions, all that. Well, with Android, it's slightly different, guys. With Android, you're actually putting out things to servers and Google stuff. So you, you have to be more aware on Google technology phones that are running Android systems because those are a little more fault to malware and other things like that. I'm not saying
Yes.
that iPhones ain't, but iPhones is a little more closed system that you're a little more protective, you know.
especially those adult sites have. Oh, never mind. But the thing is that you're right. The Androids I was always getting malware and whatnot with Apple has been a lot better. So
So
Yeah,
tell us
well,
more about these adult sites, George.
no, I meant to say the donut site. They're the donuts and
well,
the.
George, do those adult sites have junk fees? Let's jump into this article and let's see what they're talking about. Junk
Today
fees.
on Coffee Time, we're breaking down the hidden costs of junk fees and their impact on your wallet. What are junk fees? Junk fees are additional charges tacked onto the advertised price of goods or services. Often hidden until the final stages of a purchase, these fees catch consumers off guard, making it difficult to budget effectively. They are pervasive across industries and significantly increase costs. Examples of junk fees: banking fees, overdraft penalties, late payment charges, and fees for paper statements. Airline fees, costs for seat selection, checked baggage, and services that were once included in the ticket price. Hotel fees, mandatory resort fees and charges for amenities like Wi-Fi, which are often not disclosed upfront. Event ticketing fees, service and processing fees that inflate the price of concert and sports tickets. The financial toll on consumers. A 2023 survey by Switchful revealed that the average American spends around $596 annually on junk fees. For some, these costs surpass $1,000 each year, placing a significant financial strain on low-income households. How junk fees are embedded in key industries. Airlines. U.S. airlines generate billions through charges for baggage, seat selection, and priority boarding. These fees often surpass the actual cost of the services provided. Banking. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, has flagged excessive fees for overdrafts and late payments, which disproportionately affect financially vulnerable individuals. Hospitality. Hotels frequently add resort fees to the final bill, surprising guests who believed they were paying the advertised rate. Regulatory actions to combat junk fees. Federal initiatives. The Biden administration has introduced the Junk Fee Prevention Act to curb unnecessary charges in industries such as banking, airlines, and event ticketing. State legislation. States like California have implemented laws requiring businesses to disclose all mandatory fees up front, improving pricing transparency. Consumer protection efforts. The CFPB is enforcing stricter rules to ensure clear disclosure of fees and eliminate unjustifiable charges. What this means for consumers. Junk fees add financial stress and complicate budgeting, especially for low-income households. Regulatory efforts are working to make pricing fairer and more transparent, empowering consumers to make informed decisions and avoid unexpected costs. Have you encountered junk fees? What steps do you take to avoid them? Share your thoughts and strategies with us. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for more conversation.
Well, I mean, here in California, as they say, they're not supposed to do that anymore. So,
Let me ask,
but
Mr. Davis, you're talking about T-Mobile, and I years ago, we would go to the store and pay it, or even Sprint. They charge you $5. They still do that? Do you know?
a lot of places charge you extra if you so and I know a lot of folks in the community, they fall into this one, right? So maybe they're not tech savvy or whatever, they have the option to pay it online or whatever. But if you can't do all that and you have to call and get a person to help you pay your bill, then they charge you for that.
Yep, that's true. I know, like the other day, I'm gonna pay my um the T-Mobile bill, and the automated it kept it would keep jumping around. I'm like, what the heck? So I went to the customer service. Oh, we're gonna charge you $10. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa! No, your automated thing was jumping around. Oh, well, I guess I'll go ahead and waive it. I'm like,
And
really?
a lot of times they'll waive it if you put up a fuss about it. But
Basically telling you this is a BS charge.
Or
yeah.
like the activation fee for a phone? Come on, don't
Yeah,
even
this is
go
a
there.
BS charge. The late fee
Mm,
for oh no, an overdraft fee when you know you're gonna get direct deposit still, that's a BS charge.
yes, sir. Definitely.
Even some accounts they even charge you too. They want you to jump through hoops. Here, do a direct pay, a direct deposit, do a bill pay, and do another activity or do another activity, and you get your account for free. There's service charges all over the place. You have these
Oh,
all over the place. It's
Mhm.
man. Another thing is me and Monica love going to concerts and Live Nation and Ticketmaster have a hold on that. They have a hold on that industry, especially Ticketmaster with venues. A ticket that might be $35 and the end comes up to like 60 something
Yeah.
bucks.
But didn't
yeah.
it get sued
Added
for that?
fees.
Pedro? I thought they got sued for that.
They're they're not, yeah, the government got on them for that, but they're trying to break them down. That's the whole thing. And to tell you the truth, with the upcoming administration and the changes that might be happening, and the people that are going in place, instead of tightening regulations and making this monopoly split, they might not even, they might just let it happen and fall off the whole lawsuit and all that.
Right, right,
Really?
right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But ain't
Yes,
no. We're gonna find out.
we're gonna
But
find out, but
It's like when I back in the
I
day.
don't have faith in it because they already said they're gonna get rid of Nina Khan from the FTC. So
Oh, really?
I don't have faith. I don't have faith on what they're gonna do.
right.
Honestly, I'm not gonna go soft on the
But,
upcoming
but Pedro,
administration.
but Pedro, you have to understand why all this is happening because they want to make America great again. America. So
America for well, I,
When
look,
was America great? I want to know.
I do too.
when we had
Uh,
ten
uh,
percent interest rates.
so
If they let's see if they keep their promise about 10% interest rates on credit cards. Let's see if they keep their promises on the popular issues, because to me the incoming administration is not a populist administration. It's a whole undercover. They always say I'm a populist, and that's what the president elect says, and I don't believe it. I do not believe it because Roe versus Wade proved something to us. He is not a populist because that thing was not popular.
but
what he did by breaking down, eliminating Roe v. was a non-popular thing. The popular thing was to
Yes,
be leave it in place.
yeah, yeah.
yes,
yeah. But
and
to
he
your
did
point,
that.
Mr. Davis. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead, George. Go.
Now, I'm going to say to Mr. Davis's point, when it comes to our community, a lot of times people are either they're not tech savvy or for example, the elderly, right? They haven't transitioned to either learning Braille or whatever, right? So like, you know what? I'll just go down the store and pay the $5. When they had it, when down the road they could pay it on the phone and save the $5. $5 adds up. Five
It
dollars
does.
here, $2 here, a dollar
Especially at a
here.
fixed income. Yeah,
Exactly.
especially at a fixed
Mhm.
income, and we know there's what you said. It's 75 underemployed and unemployed people in our community, and these junk fees. You're right; these junk fees stack up. If you have a junk fee on your first bill, and then on the second bill, and then your third bill, by then, let's say every junk fee was $10. That's $30 gone to just fees.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Well,
You
don't you
again,
know,
hate when you order? Let me ask you this. I don't know if it's the same area, but when you order something from drive-through, like I want a shake or I want an apple pie, you get home and there's no apple pie or shake. Hey, that company gave me money. That doesn't come out from their inventory, so that's extra money for them, in my opinion. I just that's another thing.
uh,
It's not the
I
same
mean,
thing.
again, there's fees all over the place. You just got to pay attention. I mean, I quit doing stuff like Postmates and stuff like that because I found out and realized that the menu on the app, it doesn't match the pricing on the menu at the store or at the
True.
the fast food place or wherever you're ordering from. It's a whole nother end, and it's normally 30% more.
Really?
Then on
yeah,
top of
yeah,
that, then they charge you delivery fees, and
And a
I mean,
tip.
look at all the fees they charge us in
and
Uber.
yes, and you're correct. Those fees, like those that are in Postmates and Uber, should be in the same category as junk fees. They just haven't been introduced to be there, like certain Uber fees that we have, like a market placement or whatever the fees are. And then also like and Grubhub and all these, they got certain fees like, oh, you're getting a fee for this, a fee for that. They're all over the place, that the government has not gone far enough.
Right.
I know the Biden administration was just getting started with this, but who knows where is it gonna go in this upcoming year, in this upcoming
Right.
administration.
Yeah.
And the poor people, or the people in fixed incomes, is the one taking the hard hit,
Yes, sir.
and
Right.
and we do have one more article, so I want to get into that. So let's get into the a little bit about oil
Well,
drilling. Let's
before
play
you hit the
that.
button,
Hmm.
Pedro, Britt, is anybody commenting, or we good?
Yeah, somebody commented. They said good morning. I'm not sure how to say your name, so good morning, person.
Okay. Well, good
Can
morning.
you spell it? I think that's the one I saw the other day too. So even Jaws told me like, what?
Mystery person.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, mystery person. Good morning.
Good
Well,
morning. Good morning,
here's
Flight
one
United.
that's this next article is a mystery to a lot of people. So check this one out.
Today on Coffee Time, we're uncovering the hidden side of urban oil drilling, where oil wells operate discreetly amidst bustling cities, raising critical questions about health, safety, and community impact. Hidden oil wells in urban landscapes. In cities like Los Angeles, oil wells are ingeniously concealed within ordinary structures, blending into urban environments. Often unnoticed by residents and passers-by, these wells extract resources while remaining virtually invisible. Examples of concealed urban oil wells. Packard Well Site. Established in 1967, this site operates behind the facade of a beige office building on Pico Boulevard in Mid-Wilshire. The facility houses 52 active wells operated by Sentinel Peak Resources, with a mobile derrick discreetly enabling continuous extraction inside the structure. Beverly Center adjacent well. Next to the Beverly Center shopping mall, this oil rig is hidden behind walls and thick foliage. Despite its location in a bustling area, its design ensures that extraction activities proceed unnoticed. Salt Lake Oil Field Operations. Beneath Los Angeles, the Salt Lake oil field hosts numerous wells masked by structures resembling commercial properties. This clever integration allows oil extraction to continue without disrupting the city's visual appeal. Health and environmental concerns. While these concealed operations are ingenious in design, their proximity to residential and commercial areas raises significant risks. Health risks. Emissions from these sites contribute to air pollution, potentially causing respiratory issues for nearby residents. Environmental hazards. The risk of soil and groundwater contamination poses long-term environmental challenges. The dense placement of wells in urban areas amplifies exposure risks, necessitating better oversight. Regulatory measures and progress. California has taken steps to address the concerns associated with urban oil drilling. Buffer zones for safety. In 2022, the state passed legislation banning new or reworked oil and gas wells within 3,200 feet of sensitive areas, such as homes and schools. This measure aims to shield communities from the adverse effects of extraction activities. Ongoing advocacy. Community groups continue to push for stricter enforcement and greater transparency regarding urban oil operations. Balancing industry and community welfare. The existence of hidden urban oil wells highlights the challenge of balancing industrial activity with the well-being of communities. As cities evolve, it's essential to ensure that public health and environmental concerns are not overlooked in favor of resource extraction. What are your thoughts on these hidden oil wells in urban settings? How can cities better balance industrial needs and community safety? Let us know in the comments. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for more conversation.
So I'm going to take this a step further because I've seen a few different videos on this stuff. So back in, maybe the turn of the century, 1800s, early 1900s, a lot of people don't realize LA was a big oil well. I mean, it was a big site for this guy Doheny. For those that live here, Doheny Boulevard. I mean, it's actually literally named after him. It runs right through Beverly Hills. Anyway, he was down and out and broke, and happened to see oil coming up out of the ground, and got a couple bucks, and next thing you know, he's a millionaire, right? But over the course of time, it was just like the gold rush when everybody was running up north to get to the gold in California and up in Northern California, all these different things. So everybody came to Southern California to try their luck in the oil game, right? So as time went on and, people ran out of money, or maybe the wells dried up or whatever, there were guidelines and regulations on how these wells were to be capped. A lot of people didn't do what they were supposed to do. And we literally have homes in LA now that are built on top of old oil wells that were not sealed properly. So, I mean, it's creating a big issue. It really is. I mean, we had a thing a little while back where like 3 or 4 houses actually blew up because there was natural gas coming out of, because it wasn't sealed off properly. So, I mean,
Could that be criminal? I mean, Mr. Davis, regarding the concealment of the wells and whatnot?
Yeah, but by the time that, let's just say it was supposedly capped off in, maybe the 30s or the 40s, and here we are in, 2000, those people aren't around no more. Those companies are probably not even around no more.
True. And by the way, just for a quick FYI, that's why the 49ers are called the 49ers, because back in 1849, all the gold rushers would go up to that area. That's why it's called the 49ers. Just thought I'd let you know that.
Yeah. I mean, again, people they get greedy, man. They get their little money, and then then they don't want to follow proper procedure, because why? It's going to cost them. They said the average cost to seal off one of them wells today in today's market is $1 million.
Wow.
Okay, so basically what they do is they take the head, where it's coming up, and they just start dumping concrete down it until they seal it off.
Well, see, if they're Mexican, they just put duct tape.
Well, that's the problem. they with the ones where people got their houses built on it, right? They cap them off, with a cap, whatever, put a concrete slab over the top of it, and then they build a house and sell the property.
Okay, well, that kind of explains some of these warnings we get about an environment warning, the air quality warnings and stuff like that. And this goes into what I always say. That's why we need universal health care, because our government and our corporate class has not cared about the public, especially these corporations that they didn't want to seal these mines going in, or these oil extractors that are still going in the plain, well, not in plain sight. It's sight, out of mind. Basically, in the cover of a fake building, but they're still extracting oil, causing these things in this air occurring still. And you hear about different people getting sick.
That's why they say money, honey.
Yeah.
And it's right, picture, because these corporations don't care. I'm making $80 million a month, and well, who cares if people are dying? Doesn't really matter.
Exactly. As long as it don't interrupt my cash flow, that's the way they look at it anyway. But again, like the article said, I mean, the one in the Beverly Center, man, Beverly Center, that's basically Beverly Hills. They don't care. It's right there. That other one on Pico. Pico, for those that are from this side of town, they know Pico is a main artery, a main thoroughfare, going east and west through the city of Los Angeles. It actually goes all the way from Santa Monica. Actually, I went in Pico Rivera. I think that's where it ends at, way up in there, which is way east, So, again, you got these things that are right there in the city. You might be looking at a building, you don't know what that building's for. You don't never see any, foot traffic going in and out of that building, right? Hey, go peek through the window. Look inside. It might be an oil derrick inside.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
that's what I was saying, Mr. Davis. Is that technically, would that be criminal? or not? Or are
No,
they covered?
no, because if they already own the land, and again, like the article was saying, like especially here in LA, whatever, there's no new oil wells. They got to have a lot of regulations,
Okay.
as far as
Yeah.
they're concerned, right? As far as distance between, schools and housing and stuff like that, right? But just like with a lot of other things, these wells have been like there's one on La Cienega up on the hill going here. It's an open oil field. You can see it, right? It's an actual working oil field. But you got a lot of them going on in the city. These things have been around a long time, and bottom line, they get grandfathered in because they're old and existing. They're not new.
And I know we're coming to
Okay,
the end of the show.
I
But
remember that term. I remember T-Mo used to have your grandfathered in with the unlimited plan, and I remember, man. And then I ended up getting another iPhone and another iPhone. Oh, we can't honor that. I was like, no, what happened to the grandfather in plan? Oh, we can't honor that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was gonna
hey,
say, I don't want to go into another subject real quick. I know we're coming to the end of the show, but by you saying that, Mr. Davis, I yet to understand why we, as the U.S., are so dependent on exports of oil when we have all this stuff here. Just about
Well,
No.
I've done some research on that, George. It's what they call clean oil, and then they have sweet oil.
Okay, I've heard
Okay,
of that.
our refineries are not set up for clean oil; they're set up for sweet oil.
Oh,
So
really?
that's why our oil gets exported, which clean oil is actually less expensive than sweet oil. So we export and then we import what we can refine. I mean,
Okay.
they're actually working on converting some of our refineries into being able to use the clean oil,
Okay.
Okay.
and then let's go another step. When you hear them talking about all this sand pit stuff, that oil literally has sand in it. It's dirty oil. So
Oh, the
that's a
baby
whole
oil.
nother product.
So,
That's another thing.
Ed, so what you're saying is when they say when the upcoming administration says baby drill, they're basically not. When they say baby drill, they meaning let's drill so we can lower the gas prices here. Well, if what Ed's saying is right and they're exporting this sugar oil out, our prices are not gonna drop on our gas because we're
No.
importing.
They're
Where I
not.
didn't
They're
know, and
not.
I was saying, yeah, what I was saying when they were trying to make me sign this thing to continue drilling, and I told the young man, well, first of all, instead of trying to drill more, let's stop exporting our oil and export 30% and keep 70% here so we could drop our prices. You know what the dude told me? You know
Right.
what? I'm not even going to ask you to sign this no more. I'm just going to walk away. He walked away
That's right.
because that's the logical thing to do.
Right. Well, and that's why there's efforts going on right now to, say upgrade our refineries to where we can use our domestic oil and won't be so dependent on foreign oil.
Okay. Exactly.
Well,
And that's
we
just,
need to
like,
do that
how
in
much
all
you guys paying
types of
gas over there?
sectors.
How much you guys paying? Because California is always high in gas. I don't know why.
You
But
want me to tell you why, George?
the regulations.
No, it's regulations, but we have this the stiffest what they call it,
Taxes.
emissions laws.
That's why. Okay.
Okay, so we literally have seasoned gas. So they put additives in it to make sure that it burns clean during a particular time. So in the wintertime, when the weather is cool, they have to put something in there to make the gas burn hotter. In the summertime, when the weather is hot, then they put another chemical in there. So bottom line, it's all about making the gas burn as
Well, we have
clean as possible.
Plus, we have taxes on it too because of our uh, air quotes over here. We're fixing our roads and other things like that.
Yeah. But let's go here. And I've known many, many, many people that own gas stations. Gas might be, $3.50, $4, $5 a gallon, right? You know how much the actual gas station gets per gallon?
How much?
About a dime.
Really?
That's why
Oh.
that's why a lot of your stations now have switched over to convenience stores. They actually make more money selling sodas and water
goodies.
than they do on the gas.
That's right. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
See, folks, you learn something new.
And then the backwards thing, the whole backwards thought is we're gonna subsidize the oil industry, right? It seems like these gas stations might need subsidize than the oil producers because they're in $1 trillion business.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and again, why are we subsidizing a $1 trillion a year industry? It doesn't make any sense.
Because we got
You
some
know,
greedy MFs in there.
well, I mean, it's all about money in Washington, folks. That's what that is. We
Money
got to
and
get money
honey.
out of we got to get money out of politics. So, well, I mean, I hope we made up for the time that we messed up in the beginning. We're at 10:25 now, so I know we've gone, and again, we apologize for technical difficulties, but that's part of the problem with being live. You
Yep.
never know what gremlins might be lurking under the hood. So, but we worked it out. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Brittany, Pedro, George, Mr. Mystery Man in the comments, Mystery Woman, Mystery Person, uh, whoever you may be. We appreciate everybody. We really do. Please, please, please go to whatever platform you're on, like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification, whatever it is on that platform that you can do to help us move forward. We would really, really, truly appreciate it. Hey, we're trying to get to, YouTube. Well, we're trying to break 100 right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to come up with some sort of a gift for the 100th subscriber. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can try to promote and do something and build our subscribers up a little faster. But
Oh, that's a good one.
anyway, anybody got anything else in closing while I make my way up here to this button?
Nope. Bye.
I got you.
Damn, Bert. Look, just say, don't forget today's hump day. Hump those closest to you. So,
All right. Y'all ready? I can end it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit this button now. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your hump day. As George says, remember always hump the ones you love and all that good stuff. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great day.